Well, I want to bring to the stage Erica Hagar. Erica is the founder of Bison Booties, and she has an amazing story to tell. And the format, again, for those who have not been here, it's a 6-minute or so. She's going to share with us her story. And then we turn it over to you, and you get to ask Erica questions, maybe give her some insight, some ideas, whatever you want to do. So, Erica, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. All right. I haven't used one of these in a really long time. Okay. Thank you all for coming. I'm Erica Hagar, and I own Bison Booties. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Northern California, and I've always been kind of a geek. So this is my dad and I on my first Apple computer up in the left-hand corner. So I've always been really comfortable with technology. In high school, I learned how to quilt from my then boyfriend's mom. So ever since high school, I've had this quilting hobby, and then I've also been really comfortable with technology. I moved to North Dakota in 2001 to attend the University of Mary for college, and I graduated in 2004 with a degree in business communications, and then a little bit later I got my master's in management. And I worked there in public affairs, doing graphic design and marketing and public relations, and had a lot of fun with that. And in 2010, my daughter arrived. That's her and I in this little picture down there. And my husband and I decided I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, which was always kind of my life plan. I thought that was fantastic. So my grand plan, being a stay-at-home mom, was I was going to do freelance graphic design at home with my daughter. And that was going really well. And when she was about 2 or 3 months old, I realized that nothing would stay on her little kicky feet. She would kick, 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 and everything would come off. And so I had this pair of baby booties I had made for her when I was pregnant, along with quilts and tutus and all sorts of stuff. And these booties were really great. And so I thought, well, I can make them better. There's a couple things I would change. So I made a couple more pairs, like 6 or 7 pairs with my box of quilt scraps in my unfinished basement. Like, I didn't have power or heating, and so I was sewing down there, and it was fun around my free time. And came up with another pair of baby booties that I thought, wow, these are even better. These are fantastic. The best thing I've ever made. So this is the original pair in that picture. And this is my family today. I have a 2-month-old also. So that's my family. So Bison Booties was officially launched on November 1st of 2010, almost 3 years ago. And the reason I even took it that far, hey dude. So the reason I even took it that far was when I made this great pair of baby booties finally, I had friends in California that were having babies, so I sent a couple of them a pair, and after a couple of months, a friend of a friend wanted to buy a pair. So I thought, well, that'd be great. It would kind of support my fabric collection habit. So if I can make a little money off of this pair of baby booties, more power to me. So I tell my husband, like, this is fantastic. Somebody wants to buy a pair of these, like my hobby little project. And he says, whoa, 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 whoa. They're in California. You are here. How are they going to pay you? I said, well, they'll mail me a check. And he's an accountant, and he says, not a good idea. So I found Etsy, which honestly at the time I thought it goes through PayPal. They can pay me. I take a picture of it. I'll sell 2 pairs to friends of friends. This will be great. So when I launched on November 1st of 2010, I had what I thought was like a huge inventory of 8 pairs. And that was not a huge inventory at all. But when I launched on November 1st, I didn't realize that that was prime Christmas shopping season, and Etsy was really taking off at that time. So I completely sold out within 2 weeks, and I didn't sell to any friends of friends. They were all going, I sold a couple pairs overseas, East Coast, Florida. I don't know anybody in Florida. So it was not to my friends in California, which was really interesting. And so what are Bison Booties? Bison Booties are designed by me. They stay on even the kickiest baby feet with the soft fabric wrapped elastic around the ankle. They're machine washable. They have, can't really see on here. Right here you can tell that they have like a soft Sherpa fleece on the insole, so the babies like to cuddle their feet in them. They're really soft. And my favorite aspect of them is they're machine washable. So babies are wearing them, they're chewing on them, you can throw them in the wash. They wash up perfectly, and you can put them back on. They're available, I make them in sizes from newborn to 24 months, which is about a toddler size 6. And I make them in styles for boys or girls or neutral. So that's what Bison Booties are. I have, in the last 3 years, sold to all 50 states and over 20 countries. I also have sell Bison Booties, you can buy them online on Etsy. I sell wholesale to about 7 stores nationwide. I did have them in a store in Australia, but they changed, so it's no longer a store. And I also sell them at 2 local vendor craft shows in Bismarck every year. The next one that I will be at is the Pride of Dakota show at the Bismarck Civic Center the first weekend of December. So that's what Bison Booties are. Hurdles. The biggest hurdle that I have had in the last 3 years has been keeping up with demand. So this is just preparing for this is part of what I have in inventory for one show. So being that I sell them wholesale, I sell them online, and I have 2 large shows a year, keeping up with demand was by far the biggest hurdle so far. So after consulting with places like the Idea Center, I was encouraged to contract with local women to help sew the Bison Booties, so I am not, the one mom shop. So that has been amazing so far. I've got 6 independent contractors in the Bismarck Mandan area that help with everything from putting stickers on boxes to sewing Bison Booties. I still start and finish every pair, but they help with some of the steps in the middle. So it helps them. Many of them are stay-at-home moms or high school students. Helps them to have a job around and bring an income around their schedule. So that's been fantastic. And let's see. Some of the other hurdles have been getting fabric. We have a few fabric stores in town, and I certainly buy from them. Ordering fabric online, a lot of fabrics are discontinued after a season. So just, the best way to order fabric and get it at the best prices. So Melissa from 2 weeks ago that presented here, she and I order fabric wholesale together. And being that we're able to network and do that has really helped to order fabric in bulk. The other huge hurdle has just been balancing my life as a mom and balancing my life as an entrepreneur. And because I am a stay-at-home mom now to 2, and I have the business that I'm running. And so that's been a big hurdle, but it's been working pretty well. So where do I want to go from here? In the past 3 years, I've been growing the business, I think, somewhat slowly at a kind of a mediocre pace. And so I plan to continue to do that. Most importantly, just have fun with it. I do this because I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't want to give that up. I think I can still do both and still enjoy it. My daughter loves to help me sew booties. Yesterday, she said, "We're going to sew booties, Mom." And she had like a tutu on and a crown, and she had her baby and her stroller, and we were sewing booties together. So that's really the best part of what I do. In the last 3 years, I've had a lot of just amazing things that have happened. So my packaging has changed quite a bit. These are the retail boxes and the boxes that I sell the booties in at the shows twice a year, or if you buy them in a store, they look like that. And then up here is what they look like if you buy them online. So shipping and online, I guess, ship around the world, so have to have a very compact, soft, it's okay if it gets wet or snowy package. So they are shipped like that in a little drawstring bag in a weather envelope. And then I do have the name Bison Booties trademarked, so that's official. That's been very exciting. And then I had the opportunity to gift a pair of Bison Booties to the stylist for the NBC show Parenthood. So they loved them, and they actually requested 12 additional pairs. So if you watch Parenthood, be on the lookout for Bison Booties this season. And about a year ago, I was a finalist in the Martha Stewart American Made Award. And so out of 2,000 entrants, I was in the top 100, and then I finished, honestly, it was all thanks to the community support. I finished in the top 12. And as a result of that, they featured me on the Martha Stewart Living blog. So that's been kind of part of the journey that I've been on lately. And Bison Booties, again, here are all the links to how you can find us and follow me. That's all about Bison Booties.
Thank you, Erica. That was, it really is. It's an incredible story. And of course, I'm sure everybody in here is thinking, where are you going to take your business next? And feel free to ask questions. Scott's going to run around with the mic. We ask that you just raise your hands so that we can mic you because, of course, this is being recorded as well, so we want to hear the questions as well. And I have the first question for you. Where'd you come up with the name?
Yeah, the name's pretty funny. Way before, when I was in college, I had a blog so that my parents in California and my friends in California, we could kind of keep in touch a little better. This is long before Facebook. And so I called it Bison Girl because I was in North Dakota and it seemed to fit. So when I made the first pair of baby booties, I thought, well, my blog is called Bison Girl. I'll call them Bison Booties. So they are not made with bison leather or fur, or they don't have any animal products. They're considered vegan. They're all cotton. So yeah, no animal products are involved. But I love the name. Being that I send them all around the world, I like that it's a very North Dakota name. And I love living here. Again, I'm a Pride of Dakota member. I love it here. So chose to stay here after college. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so I call them Bison Booties. Again, no bison materials, but it's a very North Dakota name, and I'm pretty proud of that.
You with the mic?
I just wanted to comment, just thinking as you're speaking, what I like about those booties especially is that moccasin type. I mean, are they all moccasin on the bottom? Kind of that, what is that?
It's a faux suede on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I have a pair right here. It's, again, it's a faux suede, so it's fabric, it's completely machine washable, but they're remarkably like non-slip. If you look at this side, this is really slippery, this is the regular cotton side, but this side, it's very non-slip. So my daughter has those, I'm sure you know them, those like flannel polyester footy jammies with the little gripper things on the bottom. And she slips like crazy in our house. We have like a laminate wood floor, but with these, she does not slip. So they're remarkably non-slip without being rubbery.
So I like the name, the Bison Booty, and then you got the moccasin. It just kind of takes me back to grade school and learning about the Indian culture and the moccasins that you're used to seeing. It's kind of just the same. It's just a good look, and it goes with the name. Really nice, yeah.
Any other?
I don't have a question, I just have a compliment. I have a 16-month-old grandson, and my daughter sends me pictures of him all the time. He gets up in the morning and runs, strips out of his clothes, and goes and puts his Bison Booties on. That's all he wears most of the time. So thank you for this product, because it's really, I think, especially in cold climates like North Dakota, and when you want to keep your kids with something on their feet, but the slipping thing is a big deal, so it's a safety thing, and I think my grandson will have a few less bumps and bruises through his toddlerhood, so thank you.
No, thank you.
Have you approached any large retailers? And if so, do you have kind of that plan in place to where you could ramp up and get everything produced to meet the demand?
I have not contacted them. I've had inklings from a few bigger, it's not Target or anything like that, but in like a major city, a small mom and pop store that would maybe have like 4 locations or something like that. They've been curious about them. Honestly, I don't know how I could keep up, because I can barely keep up now, even with the helpers that I have. So I think that would be something I would consider maybe in a few years as I keep slowly growing to a point that I would have like excess inventory and be able to play a little bit more, if that makes sense. I just got a wholesale question this morning on email from someone in China, and it was very legitimate. And so I say, I'll keep you in mind, and we'll see how the holidays go. So, yeah, I don't want to tell anybody no, but at the same time, I don't know if I could fill a huge order right now.
How have you grown, and what would you consider if you received an order that was too large or small? What's average? Obviously, it probably does grow with the season.
Yeah.
But what do you consider comfortable with, pairs per year, or how do you do it?
That's a really good question. So a lot of people say, how long does it take you to make a pair? And I say it's like making a batch of chocolate chip cookies. You don't mix up everything to make one. So I make them in batches of about 100, 130 pairs at a time. Again, I still start every pair and I finish every pair, but I have helpers for the in-between parts. Like a typical wholesale order would be anywhere around like 50 pairs, 50 to 100, like if it's a holiday season. So I would say I would assume for like a large retailer, the order would be like in the thousands. That would be hard. If you consider like that I make 130 at a time and that's a large batch, to get an order for like 2,000 would be like beyond what I can handle at the moment. Does that make sense?
Do you feel like you need to keep control of it because this is what you started? You know, obviously you could teach or you could give this to somebody and they could mass produce them probably, but then I'm just wondering from kind of an emotional or it's your thing. Do you not ever want to get that big that you
No, I know
understand
exactly
I'm
what you're
saying?
asking.
Because
No, I know
I
exactly
can
what
see,
you're
this
asking.
is just it's a dream, and then you want to still have, it's more than just picking out fabrics and giving it to someone else. You still kind of want to have that touch
Yeah.
on it, and then.
And it's not that I necessarily keep it close because I don't want to give it away. I keep it close for a couple of reasons. One, I'm a mom, and I don't want to end up being full-time managing a job and having to look at daycare or something like that. So I figure once both kids are in school, then I might look at, a bigger, really running a business that way. The other reason is right now with the helpers that I do have sewing, it's in Bismarck, Mandan, it's in North Dakota, it's helping their families a lot. I would never, ever, ever consider having Bison Booties outsourced to a foreign country. I'm not even real comfortable with it being a foreign state. I just feel like so many people in North Dakota have so many skills and are willing, want to sew for this kind of thing. So why not tap into that? So that's why I keep it that, that way. I don't know, I still consider it kind of young, like not even 3 years old yet. And so making Bison Booties is not easy. It's really complicated and tricky, and there are so many little tweaks in the booties that I feel like I still need to watch to make sure that Bison Booties are Bison Booties, whether I'm making them or someone else is helping me with some steps. So that's kind of my reasoning for doing what I do right now.
What's been your biggest marketing strategy that you've seen ramp up sales?
Facebook.
And what's your strategy behind what you do on Facebook and how you actually engage people?
Yeah, Facebook's been phenomenal. Etsy, I have to give a lot of credit to Etsy. Etsy's been really good, and Etsy is, if you're not familiar with it, I kind of compare it to Facebook in terms of you kind of get out of it what you put into it as far as the time you spend on it and the more connections you make on Etsy. So that's been its own, the international sales are all credit to Etsy. Facebook, my strategy there is kind of, I'm a mom, so I don't just say, new styles, buy Bison Booties. I say, baby food, who's making baby food? Do you have any great recipes for making baby food? There's a whole community of moms that make baby food, so, things that I'm curious about, I just network with my fans on there, and 99% of my fans on there are moms about my age with kids. So, or you get a couple grandmas on there and they're happy to share how they make baby food or how they used to make baby food. So I guess my main strategy there is just being a mom, and my kid won't nap. So I ask them for advice and they always have great advice. So it's more of, kind of a sharing community of moms in addition to, hey, by the way, I make Bison Booties.
Can you talk a little bit about your involvement with the artisan group?
Sure.
Because I guess during the Melissa Ahanen's week 1 presentation, I think there's still a misconception that these celebrities are untouchable and they're really. So can you tell a little bit about that relationship,
Yeah.
and then how even the Martha Stewart has blossomed into? Aren't you a Martha Stewart approved product now, or something along that lines?
Yeah,
or?
kind of. So the artisan group first, Melissa, again, I call them one of the marketing strategies is make friends. So Melissa, that presented in week 1 with BBT Style, she and I, crazy, we actually worked together way back in our college days, and then we connected again 10 years later now that we both have these businesses. And so she mentioned this artisan group to me. And what it is, it's a juried group to get into. Not everybody can be in it. You have to be approved by the leader. And they have connections in Hollywood. She's located in California. Connections in the Hollywood and film industries. And so she knows a lot of the agents and publicists. And so she's able to send gifts to the celebrities in hopes that they love it and they wear it out, and tabloids take pictures of it and everybody gets excited. So basically that's it in a nutshell. I haven't really gifted specific celebrities or anything. It's hard to find someone with a baby that you know the gender and you know the size, but I have gifted, like I said, to the Parenthood TV show, so that's how that came about.
Was that through the artisan group?
That was through the artisan group as well, yep.
Can you talk also a little bit about what Pride of Dakota has done. I mean, it's, because I really think as a small business, that, they have 500 members, and I think it's worth noting that a lot of people still don't know about the benefits that this program can offer.
Pride of Dakota is awesome. Dana's sitting here, and I love Pride of Dakota. So I wasn't a Pride of Dakota member until July. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. The business was 9 months old. And so Dana and I are kind of awkwardly related, through husbands and whatnot. So we were at a 4th of July thing, and she said, "Are you a Pride of Dakota member yet?" And I said, "Well, I'm just not that big, and I don't know." And she said, "Well, take a look at the paperwork." And I said, "I have it printed out. I just haven't done it." And I sent it in. It was my birthday gift to myself. I sent it in, and I tell everybody, why didn't I do it sooner? Just Bismarck, Mandan, and North Dakota as a whole love products that are made in the state. And a lot of times if you just glance at the box, it says made in North Dakota, but it's quite small. But if you see the Pride of Dakota sticker, that's really recognizable. And so immediately, I think by having the Pride of Dakota sticker and being a member of Pride of Dakota, people just recognize your product more, and they buy it more because it's like their cousin has the business. You immediately feel connected and related and like one big happy family. So I strongly encourage any other small businesses that I talk to that even are just starting, a month old, why aren't you in Pride of Dakota yet? So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of Pride of Dakota that's awesome is their shows. So the Christmas show at the Civic Center is it's mayhem. It's so busy and full. And Melissa, I talked her into doing the show last year because she has a lot of other shows around that time, so it was hard for her to add one. And I said, you have to be the Christmas show at Pride of Dakota in Bismarck. And so she did, and she said, "You said it was busy," and I assumed it was XYZ other show that I'm in, but she said it was actually twice as busy as the other busiest show I've ever done. So that's a whole nother part of Pride of Dakota that is amazing.
Yeah, I think between the 4 shows, they put 35,000 people in front of the vendors, so that's pretty impressive.
So yeah, if you make something in North Dakota, you need to be a Pride of Dakota.
Any other questions for Erica?
What do you figure your time is worth when you're producing a product? Have you figured out your hourly income?
I haven't figured out hourly income, but I'm certainly getting paid fine. I would say fairly. Especially now with 2 kids, I don't have 8 hours a day to sit. I mean, I've got a 2-month-old. They're kind of high maintenance. And then I have a 3.5-year-old, and she's also kind of high maintenance. So, I package up the previous day's orders in the morning. I have those in my car. I need to drop those at the post office. And then nap time is fantastic. I get a solid 2 hours usually in the afternoon. Then I cook dinner. Again, I'm a mom. And then bath time usually after dinner. The kids go to bed. And then I work for another, a couple hours. So, and then, hopefully a sprinkling in between. I get a random phone call or a couple emails that are urgent and I have to return in the day. And so that's my crazy schedule.
So you're ahead of the game all the time. The orders come in, the planning process and
Yep.
what you need to do, does that come very easy for you to plan that out and know you're going to be okay?
Something I didn't mention that's kind of the back end of the business is as a mom with a crazy schedule, I don't know if our whole house is going to come down with the flu tomorrow. I have no idea. So everything I sell is already made, ready to ship. A lot of handmade products, you order it and it's custom made. So I completely flip that upside down and I say, I don't know what my schedule is this afternoon or tomorrow. So I have to have these already in stock, able to send. So yeah, I can be sold out, but I will never be completely buried in orders that I'm unable to fill. So I just feel like that's me being responsible. So, and also if our whole house has the flu, I'm not sewing because I don't want to contaminate anybody else's house. So everything shuts down if the family is sick.
I've got 2 questions for you, and then I'm going to hand it over to Ellen here for her question. But talk about location, because a lot of people think that you have to have a prime location, and I know that maybe yours isn't as optimal.
No.
And then do you do your own graphic arts and designs and packaging and things like that? Or did you receive a little help on that? Or what's?
Yeah, the packaging, all of the graphic design, everything, about 90% of what you see on the Etsy shop, the photography, all the packaging. I pick out my own styles. I pair the fabric together. All that is mine. And again, it's thanks to my background. That worked out pretty well. Other question about location. Oh, the other photography, the 10% on my website, I do work with some local photographers that we kind of trade for products and services and work together that way. So it's been a lot of fun. My location. my husband had this like crazy idea that he wanted to live in the country when we had a family. So we live 8 miles north of Mandan. So from downtown Bismarck, that's like a solid 25-minute drive. And I say like, I'm coming to town today. So I'm officially like a country person. And I grew up in a city, so this is like as foreign to me as anything I ever knew. But I love it out there. We had a moose in the neighborhood. We have a farm next to us, but we had a moose around not too long ago. We have pheasants and deer, and they always eat my plants. And so I love it out there, but it's certainly not prime downtown Bismarck, come shop my little boutique. Not even close. I usually fill my mailbox. So that's actually kind of a hurdle right now is I either need to get a bigger mailbox or I need to make a lot of trips into Mandan. So seeing if I can talk my husband into installing one of those.
So you mentioned retail stores. What's kind of been your strategy behind retail stores? Are the majority of them within the state, or are there some outside? And if out of state, how did you find those and develop those relationships?
Okay. Every single one of them has come to me, which I feel very blessed with. I haven't had to like sell to retailers that way. Again, I've realized in the past 3 years how awesome North Dakota is and how blessed we are to live here. A lot of the other retailers that I've had in other states have closed or have had to drastically change their business practices, so they don't sell the products anymore. They're more just a blog or, so things like that. North Dakota businesses has been fantastic. So I have Bison Booties in Momo's Garden in Dickinson. They're soon to open a second location in Bismarck. Minot at La Di Da in downtown Minot and Unglued in downtown Fargo. And then I also have them in a store, Bibs and Binkies in Bozeman, Montana. And then I've sold to like a lodge in Wyoming, and the original wholesaler I was just a month into the business and she contacted me from Arkansas. But again, they had to close their business. They had triplets, so they were a little busy. And then those are the main wholesalers that I've worked with. So far, just again, being a Pride of Dakota member and having this strong North Dakota interest, North Dakota businesses have been fantastic. But yeah, if something is a really good fit in a different state, that's fine too. I did have a wholesaler in Australia also. That was tricky.
Say just an idea, you kind of have that philosophy of handmade in North Dakota. Would you be interested in doing like a cooperative with moms around the state that could handle some of the production for you, and then you can focus on getting new sales and continue to grow it?
Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like I have that on like a smaller scale right now. Because I do have like 6 independent contractors. All of them except for one are moms. But yeah, I think that would be kind of in my short-term goals, is to kind of get more of a network that maybe I hand off a little more, as I gradually form better relationships with these people and trust them more, and they're more familiar with, the fine intricacies of Bison Booties. I think that's probably what I would see as some of the next steps would be doing something like that.
You're sitting on a gold mine.
Thanks.
It's a great business.
And I forgot to mention one thing. One of the questions that I was kind of asked to talk about is what favors or what requests do I have from the community? And honestly, the biggest one is just to support people like me and to support businesses like me and support the stores that sell products that are handmade. If you're thinking you need a baby shower gift, not necessarily that you have to buy Bison Booties, but go to a store that sells handmade baby products. They're going to be better quality. You're supporting a mom who really cares. And like we're getting Momo's Garden in Bismarck. She's amazing. She's just a mom with kids, and the employees she has in her store are moms, and she lets them bring their kids. Like, who wouldn't want to buy from someone like that? So I guess my thing for the community is, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, that season's coming up, birthday gifts, baby showers, shop from small businesses, mine or someone else's.
Well, even if you won't say it, I'll say it. You should buy them Bison Booties for their baby shower gift. Marlo, let's give it up for Erica. Good job.